tonight is, excuse me, so it's like the part 2 of book club. So at the end of each chapter of Imperfect by Kat Floridia, there is a section called Ink Your Thoughts. And honestly, it's kind of like shadow work, I think, in my opinion. It like takes you back there, makes you reflect a bit. But the questions for chapter 4, which was the lasting impression that we read yesterday, excuse me. The questions were, did you have a teacher that genuinely believed in you? Describe their lasting impression on you. And then the second one is, as a part of society, how can you personally contribute to changing the negative narrative? If you saw someone imperfect, how would you address it with your children, spouse, or peers? What parts of yourself do you hide from others? Why? What would it take for you to have the confidence to share them? And then the last one is there any sport or activity, drama club, basketball, art club, chorus, etc., that you wanted to be a part of? What made you hesitate, and what held you back from participating? Those were the Ink Your Thoughts. I did ink my thoughts today in the field with Shaylee, so we can talk about those. But let me... Oh, that's why I couldn't hear it. I was like, I didn't mean to completely turn it down. I do want to smoky smoke before I start. How is everyone? Don't forget, if you are a member of MJ's Garden, and that means you've gone to mjsgarden.com, click become a member, and you're auto-subscribed for $12.12 a month. Every time you participate in a live, you'll get a raffle ticket, and the last day of the month, we'll draw the raffle ticket. So for the online participation, I'll keep track. But if there's any other raffle tickets that are given, like, you gotta keep them. That way you have that number, because I'm not keeping track of those. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Oh my. But happy Monday. Today is Monday. I can't say that I had a case of the Mondays. Overall, it wasn't too bad. I did go down by the water. Excuse me. I had therapy, and she wanted to do a virtual session, so I drove to the water. I colored, and then after I pulled cards, which did have me in my feels about a little bit. I won't hold you. It was, what were the 2 cards that fell? I did take a picture of it, but I don't think I remember off the top of my head. But it had to do with, like, guarding myself and, like, finding myself and then creating a community, i.e. literally what this is. So, I don't know, it came full circle. Came a full circle today by the water. But how was your day? What did you do today? What was on your agenda? Ooh, and for those that are, like, watching and don't know what we're talking about, this is Kat Floridia's memoir. So I went to high school with Kat. And I do regret not, like, actually, like, we knew each other, but we weren't, like, friends. But I do regret not nurturing that friendship. That would have been really cool. But that is okay, because we are here now, and most of our immediate circle, like the close, like the ones that come to book club, most of them, I believe everyone actually has gotten the book. Mark, I believe, in the comments from yesterday's live, said that he got the book, and that should be coming, I think, this weekend. So that's exciting, Kat. We've got like 5 or 6 people that bought your book. Yay! Winning. And if you haven't bought it, Amazon, our storefront, I believe the link should be in the description in the bio. And if it's not, which way? Oops. I always do this wrong. That way. The barcode's right there. You can scan that, and then it'll bring you to literally all of our links, like our website, the Blazy Susan link. If you use our promo code PrettyGirlSmoke2, you'll get 10% off of your total purchase, and you'll help the garden grow. So it's a win-win. Definitely check that out. What is it called? But as I'm rambling, I guess we can get to it. What is it called? Lasting impressions. Okay, so the first question: did you have a teacher that genuinely believed in you? And I feel like I did. Not obviously, but I do feel like I did have a teacher that genuinely believed in me. But since I did go through like all of the school systems, I feel like per environment, I guess you could say, if that's like, I don't know, but per school system that I was in, I feel like there was like a person for that. So for St. Bridget's, I went to a private school. So for that, it was Mrs. Mavrikis, and I don't know why, but like she always, and even now, like I still, rest in peace, I remember her name. But she was my kindergarten teacher. I don't know. Maybe it was her. I think it was her style. I feel like she was just like the stereotypical, like eccentric school teacher. So she always had like the theme sweaters and like the cardigans, and like her perfume was just so distinct, but it was so like, I don't know. Clearly I remember her, and that was a lasting impression. But then fast forward to middle school, when I went to the charter school, there were a few people at charter. And honestly, this is how I should have known that I was probably like on some type of spectrum. Like obviously, I made friends, but I was more comfortable talking to like staff and like work personnel, which is, looking back on it now, is like weird, but anyway. Anyways, 6th grade, Mr. C, Mr. Colonna, which is funny because I'm still I'm Facebook friends with him now, so I still see I still see him. But in order to get into the charter school, they had like a lottery, so you had to be like, your name had to be picked. But for the open house, I remember going with my dad, and I had, obviously, because clearly pink has been my favorite color forever, but I had a pink notebook and a pencil, and I remember sitting there taking notes, and Mr. C came up to me, and he was just like, I noticed you were taking notes. Like, yeah, dude, I was. But he ended up being my English teacher, and that was like the first teacher that I had that was just super free-spirited and didn't give a flying fuck about, I don't want to say anything, but like kinda. But he had us doing like Tai Chi in the parking lot, and I feel like that was when I like first started like opening up and like finding my voice, I guess you can say, in terms of like writing. And he just always encouraged just like being yourself. So that lasting impression. And then, random side note, so his grandfather ended up being my mom's boss for like ever. Like, he was the guy, I'm pretty sure, that like hired my mom. But Mr. C, like his granddad, was the best, and whenever I would go into my mom's job, he would like do like weird old man fucking tricks, dude. But like, it just it made sense that that would be his grandkid because he was literally like the same. So that, and also in middle school, Senora Sorario, she was my Spanish teacher, but she was a model in Venezuela. So I don't know, I felt that was like super cool. And she taught, in addition to obviously Spanish, but like a lot of like confidence, and even just with trying to instill that confidence with speaking Spanish, it like translated into like confidence for myself. I don't know if that makes sense. But who else? Tracy, she wasn't my teacher. She was my bus driver. Again, which I should have known that I was clearly on the spectrum because I would sit in the front of the bus and talk to the bus driver. And I'm friends with her on Facebook too now. But Tracy, oh my goodness, no. I love Tracy. She was like a second mom. I won't even hold you. That stage in my life, my family was heavy in church. So that was like how we connected, and I would go to church with her. Like it was, she was lasting impression. Let's see what else. I forgot what this, okay. Sorry, as I just ramble on. But clearly I did my homework. I'm ready to participate, y'all. Okay, let's see what the other one was. Let's see. Okay. As part of society, how can you personally contribute to changing the negative narrative? If you saw someone imperfect, how would you address it with your children, spouse, or peers? Okay, so for this one, I feel like my entire dynamic, in a sense, is imperfect. So, I mean, late diagnosed, level 1 autistic. Literally found out like about a week ago. I feel like I've always like known, well, not known that I was different, but like I was definitely always like different, and I feel like that accounts for, like, looking back now, I feel like that accounts for a lot of my like friendships and interactions. Most of my friendships in like middle school and elementary school formed because I didn't want to see someone else alone. Growing up in private school in the suburbs of Massachusetts, like there weren't a lot of people that looked like me in the school. So I feel like the few people that were like Lauren were still really close. I feel like that's kind of why we not necessarily bonded, but why our parents bonded. Lauren was adopted, so I feel like her mom was trying to like make sure that she like saw people that like kind of looked like her. And that's just based off of the relationship that I ended up having with her. Kate, rest in peace. Super sweet. I feel like she would probably be in comparison to, I think it would be Emma's mom in the book, chapter 2 maybe, in terms of wanting everyone to be included and like really striving for that and trying to make sure that no matter like what the situation was, that everyone could be included. Like even finances didn't matter, because like growing up we were like my family was like lower middle class, but everyone else that I was around was pretty content. But they would take me on family vacations and all that. So, but okay, going back to the imperfect. Oh, so my friend, yeah, even like there was a new girl in 6th grade that had just transferred in, and I was like, well, I'll show her around, and we ended up becoming really good friends. So I feel like I don't have a problem with the imperfect because I'm used to being different or like standing out in a lot or all of the situations that I find myself in. Um, and it's not funny, but it's ironic though that later down in life I ended up giving birth to a level 3 autistic child who's nonverbal. So he has the AAC communication tablet, and at first going to the park it was a little hard for me, not necessarily hard for me, but like people would like look or like be like, oh, why does he have his iPad? So I had to figure out like how to be able to vocalize and verbalize like, okay, so he's nonverbal, he hasn't found his words yet, so this is how he talks, this is how he communicates. So it's easier to flow off the tongue now because I've been saying it. um, but um, yeah, so I feel like it's, I don't know, the perspectives of of this question in particular is like, I always address it. I always have to. So like I live it. Hey Sam, what is my definition of autistic? I guess I don't really have a pure solid definition of autism because I'm obviously like still learning it. Um, and I didn't really realize the aspects or scopes or the dynamics of it until I had Noah. Um, and through having him and going through all of his, like the therapies and all of his like meetings and like evaluations and all of that, it like started like reflecting back on me a little bit. But I feel like the main thing in my realm or my spectrum, I guess you can say, would be communication. Um, with the podcast now, it like forces me to say what I'm thinking, and not half the time, for the most part, I say what I like want to say, but it makes me like think a little more, censor a bit. Yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but for me, communication and just like finding the words, but I feel like that just comes from like childhood trauma and like not being able to like, now as I see it, like completely express my emotions or just feel all of the big emotions that I've been feeling. Because I just had to, suck it up, not cry. So, yeah. Okay. But that kind of eases into the, what parts of yourself do you hide from others? Why? What would it take for you to have the confidence to share them? But yeah, so that kind of just like answered the podcast. So I feel like for the most part now, within the last like year or two, I feel like I've been more open. I feel like I've been trying to use my throat chakra a little more. But that's just because of the recent trauma I endured, and I feel like that people, you're not gonna silence me. Like, you can say what you want, do what you want, but you're not gonna shut this pretty face up. Sorry. Not sorry. And I feel like that's what people ultimately wanted, so we're gonna do the exact opposite. The exact opposite. Let's see. Okay. Is there a sport or activity, drama club, basketball, art club, chorus, etc., you wanted to be a part of? Excuse me. What made you hesitate? What held you back from participating? Honestly, this brought me back to freshman year in high school. And honestly, Kat, I don't know if you're watching this or not, but you being the manager of football. So I, for some ungodforsaken reason, I have no idea why I want. Well, I think it's because all of my friends at the time were doing it, but everyone was playing lacrosse, so everyone was trying out for the lacrosse team. If you know me, like, you know, I'm not athletic. Like, I'm not athletic at all. Um, yeah, so I honestly don't know. But I had my parents get me all of the things, like the lacrosse stick, which was pink, the goggles, which were also pink, and my lacrosse balls, in addition, they were pink. So I had all my stuff, didn't make the team. Obviously not, because not athletic. But didn't make the team, but they were like, well, you could be the manager. And I was like, oh, okay. So I did that, but like for a little, until me and the girl stopped being friends. So I stopped doing that. I won't even hold you. But that was honestly the only thing that I didn't really participate in high school. Well, in addition to cheerleading. But I did that in college. So I guess I picked that back up. But I don't know. High school was a weird time, dude. It was, or maybe it was just like my high school. I don't know. My town was just weird. We were the biggest town in America for a while. Well, for a while, until we just became a city. I think maybe within the past like 3 or 4 years. But it's a big ass high school. Mad people. The biggest school I've ever been into, honestly, because the middle school, excuse me, and the middle school and the fucking, what was it? Elementary school were so small. I'm weak. Cheerleading would be. I did like cheerleading. I cheerleaded in elementary for a bit. I was in Pop Warner, and then we couldn't afford it, so I stopped. And then didn't do it in high school. Because I was like, honestly, I was intimidated. All the girls that were doing it in high school had continued from, like, elementary, from Pop Warner. So, like, no. Dude, literally, I'm always being thrown to the fucking wolves. Yeah. But they, like, eased me into it, at least. Kinda. That's a lie. I was not eased into it. I feel like I was, like... I was gonna say, I feel like I was, like, bullied more in high school, but that's a lie. I feel like it wasn't even, like, bullied. It was just people making fun of the way I talked. And my weight, I was always bigger. But at least when I was in high school, it wasn't because I was black. Like, they'd gotten over it by then. But, nah. Elementary school, it was definitely like, you do not belong. And the Catholic school system does not make it welcoming in any way. Like, if I didn't know about, like... okay, well, not, like, intentional segregation, but, like, bruh. Depending on what grade you were in, each, like, day of the week, you would have to go to mass. So, like, the school was right here, and then there was the parking lot, and then, like, right there was the church. So you just, like, walked to mass. But since I wasn't baptized Catholic, they wouldn't let me go. I mean, I guess I'm not mad, but they wouldn't let me go up to communion. So the entire church would go up to communion, and I'd just be sitting there. So it's like, if I didn't know I was different, I knew then. Shit. I knew then. And then Charter. It was just like the other like black suburb girls, I guess you can say. Like they were just like me, so and there wasn't a whole lot of us, but the ones that were for the most part just like me, so I didn't think anything. But then when I went into high school, that's when they were like, "You sound like a white girl. Why do you talk like that?" Like, what? Yeah. Even now, I mean, it doesn't bother me now. I don't give a fuck. But people definitely still say, like, you don't sound like you're black. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Can someone, what's the definition of sounding black? Can someone, like, run that by me? Is it because I speak, like, proper? Like, I don't, like, but I don't always speak proper. Is it the tone? Like, I don't know. Mm, but think your thoughts, get your book. Did we do all of the questions? Did I pour my heart out enough on this live? Let me see. I think I did. Yeah, that was the last one. But is there a sport activity? Fucking lacrosse, dude. And it's funny because I wonder if my parents still have it. I think I may have given it to my niece. Like, obviously, like, forever and a day and ago because she's, like, about to be 22. Holy shit, her birthday's this month. Fuck, dude. Yeah. Lacrosse. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, bitch, you do not run. Like, be so for real. Not customer service. Yeah, so then, like, imagine. So, like, what the hell do I sound like customer service? Fuck, dude. I can't. And it's funny, too, because my name, both maiden and, like, married, aren't stereotypical, like. That was one of the first things my brother said to me when I was first thinking about moving to South Carolina. I was sending out so many applications and just like throwing my resume anywhere that would fucking stick. And I had a bunch of phone interviews, but he was saying, he's like, you're gonna show up here. He's like, they're not gonna believe that it's you. And he didn't lie. I did have one, and the lady was just like, "You're Ashley." Yeah, that's me in real life. Oh, sugar, honey, iced tea, bro. Oh, that cinnamon's burning. Yep, 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 yep. Which is crazy. A Valley girl, and I've only been to California once, and that was my junior year. Going into my senior year. Like, I've never even really been to California. Although, fun fact, when I was like doing email addresses back in the day, I would always do 90210. So maybe my heart is in California. Dude, the OC. I fucking used to love that show. I never really got into Laguna Beach. People on the run, driving in the sun, looking out for number one. California, here we come. Right back where we started from. California. Dude, I've been told that too. That's just because I don't sound like I'm fucking from Southie. That's like the deep Boston accent. I don't sound like I'm from there. And it's because I'm not. I'm not from there. I'm not even from Boston. I just tell people I'm from Boston because it's easier to be like I'm from Framingham. Because what the hell is Framingham? No one's gonna know that. So it's just easier to be like, yeah, I'm from Boston. I'm from Boston, but I'm not. I'm 30 minutes outside of Boston. I'm right in the middle of Boston and Worcester. Worcester. Dude, Ryan was my favorite. Won't even hold you from the OC. Yeah. 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 Dude, I posted those precious moments, and honestly, I hate posting them because then everyone, like, obviously they're interested, but then they're like, oh, can I have this one? And I don't know them. Like, can you zoom in the picture and, like, screenshot so I can, like, pull it? Oh. So now I have to go look for a few of these. I really just want one person to just take all of them. Just take them. Right, dude, because no one knows those places in New York. I don't even. What is it, Poughkeepsie? And they're so, like, native. These areas are so native. Like, why did we take their land? And not even we, because we were stolen too, so I can't. Sorry. Fuck, dude. Life in the fast lane. I don't even know. A little fun fact about Mariah Carey, since she's on in the background. But that song Fantasy with, what's that rapper's name? I don't know why it's like lingering right now. But they say that that song, that remix, was the bridge between pop and hip hop. I'm weak. Yeah, see? Not me in particular. Bruh. I need a coffee or something. I need to do the precious moments. I need to take pictures of these bracelets because I need to, like, get rid of them. Yeah! See? Dude, I couldn't even think of 3 fucking letters. Old dirty bastard. Duh. I don't know why it was, like, there, but, like, not there. I have no clue. Ink your thoughts. Okay, so Wednesdays, garden chat, and then Friday. I don't really have anything planned. I do need to start on those candles. I was looking at the wicks that I have, and those are too short for the molds that I bought, so I do need to buy the string wicks. And some dye. And then I think that will stop my candle making purchase until I make some and sell some. But I keep seeing shit on Marketplace. I won't hold you. But it's like people seem to start this little hobby and then they get over it. And then they put all their shit up on Marketplace. So I don't know if I'm entering into the right field. But we'll see. I think I'll have fun with it. So, that in a nutshell. I don't know what else to. What else can I ramble on about? I told you guys to buy the book. Told you guys to look at Lazy Susan's website. Check out our website too. I do need to add, Shaylee has got 2 events that or 2, well, one's an event and then one's like a Mother's Day little special that she's doing. So those flyers will be on the website at some point, hopefully by the end of the night tonight or tomorrow. And if you guys have any flyers that you want me to add to the website, make sure you send them to me so I can throw them up there. What else is there? I think that might be it. I appreciate everyone hanging out with me tonight. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you follow us on all of the things that we're that way we are forever connected. Bye.